So problem 84 states, a large truck can carry 10.5 tons of lettuce. If the truck is 4/5 full, how many tons of lettuce is it carrying? So at 10.5 tons, the truck is 100% full. And we're looking to see at 4/5 full, that would be equivalent to 80% full, because 4/5 is equal to 0.8, and then in order to change a decimal to a percent, you would multiply by 100 and you would get your 80%. So in order to figure out how many tons of lettuce is it carrying, you would take the 10.5 and multiply that by the 4/5, and that would equal how many tons of lettuce it is carrying. Your first step would be to change 10.5 into an improper fraction. In order to do this, you would do 10 times 2, and you would get 20, plus 1 would give you 21/2 times 4/5. The simplest way to complete this operation would be to reduce diagonally. 2 goes into 4 2 times with a 1 left over. So now you would do 21 times 2, and you would get 42/5. Since 42/5 is an improper fraction, you have to take 42 and see how many times 5 will go into it. So 5 will go into 42 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. Subtract 42 minus 40 gives you 2. So you would have 8 2/5 as your answer. So how many tons of lettuce is it carrying? The truck will be carrying 8 2/5 tons.
This question states, the monthly rainfall for a city was 2.5 inches in January, 6 3/4 inches in February, 10 inches in March, and 7 1/2 inches in April. What was the average monthly rainfall for the 4-month period? So the question is asking, what is the average monthly rainfall for the 4-month period? When you're trying to find the average, what you're going to do is you're going to add up all of these numbers in inches, and then you're going to divide it by how many there are. So we're going to add 2 1/2 inches, 3 3/4 inches, 10 inches, and 7 1/2 inches. Add those up together, and then divide by how many there are, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to add them all together and then divide it by 4. So first we're going to add these fractions together. Let's do 2 1/2 and 7 1/2. 1/2 plus 1/2 is going to give you a whole complete number of 1. So 2 plus 7 is 9, plus 1/2 and 1/2, which is going to be 10. So then we have 10 plus 10 plus 6 and 3/4. 10 plus 10 is going to give us 20 plus 6 and 3/4, and 20 plus 6 and 3/4 is going to give us 26 and 3/4. So now that we've added all of the rainfall and it gave us 26 and 3/4, we're going to divide it by 4. From here, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make this 26 and 3/4 into an improper fraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the whole number by the denominator and then add the numerator. So we're multiplying the whole number by the denominator, which is 26 times 4. 4 times 6 gives me 24. Bring down the 4, carry the 2. 4 times 2 gives me 8, plus 2 gives me 104. And then we're going to add the numerator, which is 3. So we're going to add 3 to 104, which is going to give us 107. So now we have rewritten 26 and 3/4 to be 107/4 divided by 4. Now we don't like looking at these levels, having one level here and one level here, so I'm going to write it linear. So now we have it as 107/4 divided by 4/1, and I wrote 4 as 4/1 because any whole number is over 1. So from here, when we're dividing fractions, what we're going to do is we're going to flip the second number to be 1 over 4 and multiply these fractions together. So from here, we flip the second number and we're multiplying the fractions now. So it's going to be 107 over 4 times 1 over 4, and we're going to multiply across. So 107 times 1 is going to give us 107, and then 4 times 4 is going to give us 16. So now that we've converted it to 107 over 16, this is an improper fraction. Let's make it into a proper fraction. So we're going to see how many times 16 goes into 107. So what times 16 is going to give me a number close to 107? That's going to be 6. So 6 times 16 is going to give me 6. It's going to give me 96. So 107 subtracted by 96, 7 minus 6 is going to give me 1. 10 minus 9 is going to give me 1 as well. So we've divided 16 into 107. 16 goes into 107 6 times with a remainder of 11. So we're going to put the remainder over 16 and 6 as a whole number. So the average rainfall in a 4-month period is going to be 11 over 16 inches, and that is going to be our final answer.